guys, so I know it's been a minute since I did one of these reviews for a WWE pay-per-view. I apologize about that. I know this pay-per-view was last weekend, but I didn't get a chance to make a video just because of the fact that I actually started a new job this past week, and yeah, it's been taking a lot of my time, so sorry about that, but duty calls. And anyway, so Bad Blood starts off with a fantastic Hell in a Cell match between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. And this match was chaotic from the beginning to the end. You have a great table spot to the outside where you have CM Punk putting Drew through a table, and then afterwards, he starts beating him with the table, which was crazy. Then after that, you have just such good storytelling. You have a spot where Drew McIntyre hits the white noise, his buddy Sheamus's move, and he puts, I believe he lands on some stairs. Yeah, he had thrown in some stairs, and he lands on the stairs with CM Punk, and that looked rough. And then you also have a bit where, Drew McIntyre takes out a bag, and it looks like it's going to be some thumbtacks, but instead, it's actually beads from the bracelet. And I was like, good on you. I know you're teasing, that you can go a little bit further with the show and everything, but to do things this way just really, really, delivered. And these two put on, what JR used to say, a clinic. It was very much a chaotic and bloody affair between these two, and I loved every second of it. And what I loved about it is, it wasn't like how, when it comes to, AEW, sometimes I feel like they try too hard a little bit to kind of get your attention, or kind of just be like, oh, did you see that crazy thing we did? And it's like, yes, I did, but did you have to do it? I mean, you could do it if you want to, but did you have to? And I think that with WWE, they did such a great job, and my God, the pools of Drew McIntyre's, blood is crazy. And then, you also had, that gnarly landing for Drew McIntyre when he tried to go hit the Claymore on, CM Punk, and he missed, and his back hit those stairs. Ugh, I cringed so much. And, it ended with CM Punk hitting a GTS with a chain wrapped around his thigh. So, yeah, I thought this match truly delivered on every aspect, and I agree with others when they say this should have truly been the main event, because, yes, it absolutely should have. But, yeah, if you guys haven't seen the match, out of all the matches on the pay-per-view, I'd 100% recommend you go rewatch that one. Watch it for yourself, because it's truly a spectacle. And then, following this match, we have what is probably considered the weakest match on the card, in my opinion, which was Nia Jax versus Bayley for the Women's World Championship. I think my biggest problem with this was the fact that it just was following, a spectacle of a match, a grand match like Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk in a Hell in a Cell, and it really hurt its placement on the card. I will say 100% Nia Jax has improved tremendously from where we once knew her. I have to give that woman so much credit for it, because she took a lot of flack in the beginning of her career in WWE, and now she's just killing it. I will say too that there are some spots in this match that I did enjoy. I think the one that they'll talk about the most, probably for a negative reason, is the supposed Hurricane Rana that Nia did to Bayley. And yeah, I would also say the rough landing that Bayley took on the steps when Nia hit a power bomb onto them and then smashed her head to the barricade. My God, that was like old Nia. It was just kind of like, oh God. But you had that spot, and then you had Bayley actually hitting a Samoan drop on Nia, which was pretty cool, and it did get a little bit of a pop because it hadn't really been done. And then after that, you had a small spot where the referee got crushed by Nia, and then basically after that, Nia actually hit Bayley with a Samoan drop off the top rope, which was crazy because that was a hard landing too. And then, of course, she hits her finisher, her new finisher, on Bayley. 1, 2, 3, Nia's still champion. I also forgot that there was a spot where Tiffany Stratton came out, and it seemed like Tiffany was going to cash in, and it's funny because Nia rose up like The Undertaker, which I did get a chuckle out of. And then after that, you had, this, I think it was supposed to be Bayley was supposed to hit Tiffany with the Money in the Bank briefcase, but she missed, so it didn't really work. But, yeah. I think I would like to see these two go at it again. I think that they do have good in-ring chemistry. It's just, Nia just has to be a little bit more confident in doing what she's doing, And then following this, we had a match that I had very big high hopes for. That was okay. It wasn't everything I wanted it to be, but it was, decent enough for me. I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was horrible. I do hope that these two get to go do more together in terms of having matches, but it does seem like we are going to move away from that, which I hope that is not the case, because I do feel like the new Judgment Day needs a win over Damian or Rhea Ripley, just because of the fact that they keep losing, or they just keep getting, I wouldn't say buried, it's just they just don't have the same reputation as if they were, the old Judgment Day, where they were just unstoppable for the most part. And I think that's a problem, especially if you're trying to sell me on the new Judgment Day with Finn Balor and all the other ones, at the helm, as opposed to Damian in the group or Rhea. It just feels like they need to win. I felt like Finn should have won this, just like, Liv and Dom should have won the last pay-per-view in their tag team match. And, it just seems like we're putting the good guys over a lot, which I'm fine with, because, crowd goes home happy, but at the same point, I need more. I think the biggest highlight from this match was when Finn repeatedly hit a coup de grace onto Damian Priest's, back of his head or his neck, and, yeah, he just kept getting up onto the turnbuckle and just doing it over and over again, and I thought, okay, maybe he's gonna win, but unfortunately he did not. And then in the early goings, there was also a moment where Damian had struck Finn Balor as he came down off the rope, and he literally just caught an elbow to the face, and it looked rough. Even the sound that it made, it was like, damn, he hooked his ass. But yeah, then of course, Damian hit the South of Heaven onto Finn and won. And yeah, like I said, I wasn't a fan of Damian going over Finn, because, it just hurt, to me, it just kind of hurts legitimacy of a character. And yeah, it just feels like, why should I find the new Judgment Day intimidating if they're just going to continue to lose matches, But announcement for the Crown Jewel Championship, which is going to be the world champions facing off against each other, the ones from Raw and SmackDown. Basically, what it is it's basically taking place over your traditional Survivor Series match that you would have, I guess, because, people miss that, the brand versus brand stuff, and I do too, and I miss the whole champion versus champion aspect of it, so, I guess in a way this works, but it does feel a little bit sour to know that, it's got to be the whole Crown Jewel or Saudi Arabia thing, because, ugh. But, yeah, I know a lot of people are just not happy with this decision at all and think that it's a waste, but hey, we get Gunther versus Cody, so that's gonna cook. Then we move on to Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley with Dom in a shark cage, and this is for the Women's World Championship. I said that the Nia one was, but it's not, that's the women's. I forget. But, I liked this match, actually. I thought it was, pretty good, I think that Rhea and Liv are pretty good in the ring together, in terms of, just really helping each other elevate, in terms of character, but also, in terms of, their ability in the ring. I mean, I think the big highlights of this were certainly, Dom in the cage, and then like that horrific moment where it looked like he was gonna fall and he literally just is hanging so high off the ground, and it's just like, oh my god, you even heard like audible gasps in the crowd, and I thought that was crazy. And then I thought it was really funny that, Rhea goes up to him and it's like, happy birthday to me, and then just starts beating him with a kendo stick. But of course, Liv was gonna find a way to retain, and none other than Rhea's old friend Raquel Gonzalez, or Raquel Rodriguez, she's going by, came back, and it looks like she's gonna be a heel, which I'm really happy about, because I liked Raquel when she was in NXT, and she was kind of like a bodyguard to Dakota Kai, so it seems like we're kind of doing that. And I've seen Santi and a bunch of others on TikTok and other stuff saying that basically she's taken over like a Diesel role, like we had with Shawn Michaels. And I totally agree, that's what they're doing, and I really like that. What I don't like is, unfortunately, the finish was botched, and it's clear that it's botched because basically when Raquel attacked Rhea, she was supposed to kind of like do it, in a way that the referee didn't see it, but unfortunately it was so blatant, and the referee saw it that, the match was thrown, which, really wasn't fun, because we don't get a proper conclusion, but, yeah, and it was also awkward, because then, Raquel, like, literally throws Liv onto her to like count 1, 2, 3, and like the commentary team is just kind of salvage it and just be like, oh yeah, this is symbolic of her winning, and it's just like, you tried, I get it, but yeah, it just wasn't a great finish at all. It's very sloppy, but what can you do? That's the business sometimes. And I do hope that we get to see more of Rhea and Liv, but we now know that Liv is now going to face Nia Jax, which is going to be really interesting. Also, there was a cool moment where Liv used a brand new move that she calls the Homewrecker, and I hope it becomes her finisher at some point over Oblivion, or at least a signature. I think it is a signature, actually. But it's really nice. It's really stylish and has a lot of flair to it. So yeah, I really enjoy that. But then we move on to our main event. So our main event was Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. And really, this match was more or less to showcase Roman as a face than anything. I think he had more time in the ring than Cody did, and also, it really just was to kind of build more on the bloodline storyline between Roman and, his former tribe, and also just really help establish that Solo is the new tribal chief. And, we aren't sure who appointed him, but we are also anticipating to see what this is about. Then we have a lot of big moments where you got Roman, facing off against Solo, and we're sure that at some point we're supposed to get a singles match between these two, which could potentially be pretty good. Or we also had moments where we showcased Jacob and his athleticism and just his monster ability as a character in the bloodline, and he really is like an unstoppable force, and he just looks so good in the ring, and he literally towers Roman and just literally just makes him look weak sometimes, and it's kind of crazy. And I thought that a really good moment too was when Cody jumped off of the top rope. He really salutes to Roman like, "You got this from here," and then he just jumps onto Jacob through the table, which was pretty cool. And I won't lie to you, this match definitely should not have been the main event. I get why it was, but I very much think that Drew and CM Punk should have been the main event, because this match was good. It didn't need to close the show. I know why it closes the show, but I kind of would have preferred if they kind of just, went a different route with it. But, yeah, then we had the surprise return of Jimmy Uso, saving Roman from losing the match to Solo and Jacob. Well, mostly Solo. And also you had the Loa, Tonga Loa, and Tama Tonga come out and basically, wreck house and, pretty much help Solo possibly secure the victory until, surprise, surprise, Jimmy's back. And, we had an amazing moment where he comes into the ring and Roman sees him and he just, he pulls him up and they acknowledge each other and, they make amends. And then after that, you have an amazing moment where Roman's like, "Okay, I did what I had to do with Cody, he's done." And then, there's a post-match beatdown. And then Jimmy's like, "We gotta go help him. We gotta go do this." And then Roman's like, he's overthinking it and just like, "No, I can't. I'm done. I did it." And he was like, "Come on, man. It's the right thing to do." And then Roman's like, "All right, let's go." And then they go. And then you have, out of nowhere, the ending of the pay-per-view, which was The Rock came out, the final boss. What the fuck? That really was just so random. And then my personal favorite moment of the pay-per-view is the moment that happened off of the pay-per-view, which is the backstage incident between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. My God, what a way to build a story by thinking that the show is over and just doing it off camera. Brilliant, truly brilliant. I truly love the new era that we're in WWE. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the pay-per-view. I know it feels like I rushed this. I just didn't want to make a really long video. And I hope you guys enjoy the photos that I did for this particular video. I really enjoy doing them for pay-per-views. And I'm really sorry that this is late. Like I said, started a new job and it's been taking a lot of my time. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do have an Elite unboxing coming next week, so stay tuned for that. And this is Blade saying peace.